Hello, this is the 2025 big LEGO Minecraft Creeper. When I say big, well, here's a minifig version of a creeper, not included in the set. There is a figure, but I'll show you that later. It's about 8¼ inches tall or 21 centimeters. Comes with 665 pieces. I paid $40 US for it. It's 40 euros, 35 pounds UK, or just $50 Canadian. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find my 2020 quote-unquote big fig creeper, which is right about up to there, I believe, in its height, actually just below that, right around in this range. But here's a brickhead, and you already saw the figure, just for, a relative comparison of overall size. The build for this, of course, is pretty straightforward. It's actually a little bit more repetitive than I thought because the legs are identical. And yeah, there's just a little bit more repetition in here than I thought. And also, it doesn't actually follow the correct pattern, as far as I've seen, of actual creepers in game. Their skin, the default skin of a creeper, is not this exact pixel pattern. I believe what happened here is that the designer realized they would not be able to get the pixel pattern to go around the sides where you transition from one face to another. And so to avoid folks looking for the specific, well, this pixel should be here, this pixel should be there, knowing that it can't be there on some of the surfaces, they intentionally mixed it up a little bit. It's very similar, and from any kind of distance, a casual observer is going to say, well, that's perfect, that's exactly it. But you can clearly see that you've got this line going through here, and then on the side of the head, you got the line going through here and here. And some of that has to do with function, some of that just has to do with the limitations of the system. The head is on a ball joint, so it's actually able to rock back and forth, side to side, and also tilt forward and back. Sounds like there's something in there, huh? And it can rotate around fully 360 degrees. You can see that the ball socket piece there is red, so it does stand out a little bit depending upon the angle that you have here. But definitely, by far, the worst thing about this set is right down here with the legs, because I was pretty lucky here with this leg being able to hold its position, being able to hold its pose where I put it. This one has already started to fall down, so you can see how it kind of just naturally falls. It's just because there isn't much friction in these joints. They're just using the hinge plates here. And as a result, if you want to put this into the pose that you see on the back of the box where it looks like it's actually in the process of walking, well, that's just not going to happen. You have to have, in order for this to be stable, you have to have opposite corners completely vertical like this. That is the trick. That is the way to make this work. And then just be careful with it, because if you start to move it around a little bit, it might start to splay these out a little bit. And as soon as it starts to splay, you're getting closer to something falling over, or at least falling flat. Yeah, so if you actually want it into a nicer, more dynamic pose, that's too bad. You put something underneath. Make some stand of your own that's clear, because this is just not. This is not going to happen. It's not. Now you can get some weird things happening with this, like that's a thing, right? You can also do it like so. Bring these in. Okay, now that's kind of looking like it's trying to be a llama head from a certain point of view. Like, use your imagination there. This works too. Yeah, this actually works. It's seated. It's perfect. It's totally a thing. This is canonical, is it not? Obviously, this is the easiest thing for it. But yeah, so yeah, really lacking in certainty and confidence of poses. Get two legs at opposite corners to be straight up and down, and then the side legs are just going to kind of do whatever they want. That's about the best that you're going to do for posing with this. And then be careful. If it is on a very smooth and hard surface, you still might get some slipping here, because this doesn't want to stay with just vibrations in your house. Just walking around, they might start to loosen up, like that one back there already has, and eventually it's going to collapse. So just keep that in mind. Now, this does have some Easter eggs, and it's not really a spoiler to show this because they show it all over the box, and I already showed you the box has this, but you can open up the front and or the back of the head. It's designed to be opened up easily, and inside of there you have the TNT that represents, the spark to make the whole thing blow up, and you have an original creeper. For those who don't know, the original writer of Minecraft wasn't intending to create a creeper as a mob or as an in-game thing whatsoever. It was 100% an accident or the result of an accident. They were working on a pig design in-game, a pig model, and didn't quite have the proportions right, and they went to change the size of it and changed the part in the vertical axis, which was not the intended axis, and this was the result. Maybe not exactly like this, but very, very close to this. And obviously it's a very, very cursed thing, and thankfully the decision was made to hang on to this as an idea and turn it into something eventually. And this is what it eventually turned into. It turned into the creeper as we all know and love today. Well, maybe not all, but many know and certainly know or know of. Whether or not you love it, it depends upon what kind of game modes you have played. But yeah, so Lego now has made an official one of those. And this is just using a regular pig head here. So you could use that to convert it back into something more normal. It's not going to be exact if you shift this down. Like you can do this and then take off the back. You can put in the two plates that are here to help fill that in a little bit, but it's not gonna be smooth on the top. You know, it's something that you can do. Again, I paid $40 US for this. It's 40 euros, 35 pounds UK, which is a little bit too much, and $50 Canadian, which is closer to $35 US, which feels much better to me. 30 to 35 feels like a good range. This is 40. It feels a little bit overpriced to me, but not too much. Also, just in doing a little bit of background research, seeing what the competition is like for other creeper things. You know, you can get custom made things that are probably relatively cheap, mass produced. A lot of the stuff that's out there doesn't have all of the patterning on it. It's just plain green with just the face printed on it, but most of the creeper, officially licensed creeper branded stuff that I've seen out there is actually rather overpriced, making this look not so bad. Just relatively speaking, that's just all about supply and demand. A lot of parents and grandparents and other relatives of huge Minecraft fans are very frequently buying creeper themed, Steve and creeper themed merch. And as a result, prices can be high. It's just how it is. Overall, I think this thing looks pretty good. It's disappointing that it's not a perfect match. I really was expecting that. And I 100% was expecting it until I really looked and noticed, on a pixel by pixel basis, and the total lack of any kind of friction in the legs down here is concerning. Mostly just because as this moves around, if you just have it on a shelf, eventually it's going to loosen up. Unless you have a good amount of friction down beneath on your surface, it's going to do something and it might fall off. And this has a fair amount of mass to it. So just keep that in mind. Put something underneath that's going to keep these from sliding out, or just put a little clear, make your own little stand beneath. That's probably the worst thing about it. That's really just unfortunate that I have to say that exists, because it does exist. And yeah, it just exists. But at least the value's not bad. Thing looks pretty good for the most part. Just has a couple quirks, eh? Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.